One of Nashville's most historic buildings will honor local civil rights leaders in a very unique way. The Woolworth building downtown, of course, was the site of several civil rights sit-ins. And before it opens as a restaurant next week, News Channel 5's Brandon Marshall sat down with some of those history makers, and they shared their unique story.
A movement starts with an idea, followed by the support of others. On February 13, 1960, students from Nashville's black colleges and universities sat at Woolworth on 5th white-only lunch counter, hoping to eliminate racial segregation. Organizers like Congressman John Lewis and Diane Nash visited Nashville to lead the nonviolent movement.
This is something.
Participants Ernest Patton and Frankie Henry returned to the remodeled building to tell their story.
So when I was 19 and participated in the first sit-in movements here, I really wasn't aware of really what was going on in the civil rights movement.
On February 27th, Henry hopped off a bus and ran into Nash, who asked her to join the sit-in movement. Demonstrators packed the Woolworth counter, so the two went to McClellan. There, Henry sat next to a white protester.
He said, they may spit on you and they may kick you, and I'm saying to myself, please don't let them do that to me.
The retired Metro school teacher of 40 years remembers a woman lighting matches down her back.
And a white lady, put a cigarette out on my arm. She just held it there. So I turned and I looked at her, and she just stared at me and just held it there.
Students were beaten but taught not to fight back. Police arrested 79 protesters at the lunch counters, but not attackers. After the first group was hauled away, more students walked in and sat down.
There's an alley that runs behind all of these stores on Fifth Avenue. Sometimes that second group would be in the alley because on the 27th of February, we knew that there were going to be arrests made.
Patton calls the sit-ins a God-sent movement, since many of the organizers never planned to come to Nashville.
So I think it's very significant that at least a piece of this is going to be preserved.
If you were an African American and you wanted to eat, this is where you came.
And preserving the restaurant's history is what Nashville-born chef Tom Morales intends to do.
We're only going to have one counter, and it's going to be a welcome table where everybody can sit and share the same experience and not feel like they're different, or made to feel like they're different is even more powerful.
Woolworth on 5th will serve as a Southern-style cuisine restaurant with live music. Part of the building's original tiles and railings are preserved.
It only takes one to start a movement.
And that social movement started with one idea, supported by others. Patton and Henry say they want others to know why they sat down to stand up for change. Within 2 months, sit-ins spread to 69 cities. On May 10, 1960, Nashville became one of the first major cities to desegregate lunch counters. And stories of demonstrators can be found here at the Nashville Public Library in the Civil Rights Room. In Nashville, Brandon Marshall, News Channel 5.
Great story, Brandon. Thank you. The restaurant officially opens on Monday.